Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, hello, I'm Mark Scheffler, lifelong resident of Wisconsin, current resident and taxpayer in the city of Appleton. I'm a successful business owner. My firm has created more than $100 million of economic impact in our community, a lot of tax dollars. I'm an avid outdoorsman, an active volunteer, and a nonprofit board member, and I'm a declared candidate for Wisconsin State Senate. Like you, I love this state and its people. Like all of them, Democrat and Republican, it doesn't matter to me in the least. We all share a love for the state, for the nation, and for the democratic institutions that we rely on to objectively serve us. I've carefully studied the new legislative maps drawn by the Republicans and proposed for the Assembly, the State Senate, and for the U.S. House of Representatives. While I strongly oppose these maps, I will not raise the issues that so many others who you have heard or will hear from today have voiced. I want to offer something new. I rise today to simply say this: there is a better way forward. A better way forward for Democrats, a better way forward for Republicans. You see, a legislative map does two things. It allows voters to choose their representatives, and it simultaneously allocates legislative power to that elected representative. In a healthy democracy, if a party wins 52% of the statewide total vote in the Assembly, for example, that party would rightly earn 52% of that legislative power. No more and no less. That's what an efficient and fair map would do. The party that wins elections in any year should control that body, and the power allocated should exactly equal that granted to them by the voters. Your proposed maps do not accomplish this most basic tenet of democratic governance. Frankly, it's folly to expect that any map drawn by either party or by an independent commission could. And here's why. People allocate power. Maps do not. And a hearing like this should be used to explore innovative ways to perfectly balance that legislative power, accurately, objectively, and consistently. I join you today to start a conversation about taking innovative steps to protect Democratic voters from Republican Party gerrymanders and to simultaneously protect Republican voters from future Democratic Party gerrymandering. I support a weighted voting system for the Assembly and the State Senate, a bold and innovative reform which would separate the act of electing a representative from the act of allocating power. Weighted voting adjusts the power of a vote cast by an Assembly representative or a state senator so that no party would have more power than that granted to them by the voters, regardless of how many seats they win. This system fixes gerrymandering overnight. It perfectly takes power derived from the voters and allocates it to winning candidates. It's based on fifth grade math. It has already been deemed constitutional by numerous courts, and it perfectly protects the idea of one person, one vote. A weighted voting system would end the bipartisan bickering forever. Chairman, it would eliminate your opposition to having a fair map commission with the argument that you couldn't have a fair commission. I happen to agree with that position. It would also alleviate Governor Evers and Democratic Assembly concerns that those proposed maps give Republicans a massively unfair and un-American advantage, with which I also agree. But the best argument for adopting a weighted voting system is simply this. It proves to all of the voters in the state of Wisconsin that our leaders are truly looking out for them, for the voters and the taxpayers of this state, all of them. It would prove to the voters that elections really do matter again. It would force our leaders to share and promote bold solutions to this universal problem, and it would show the rest of the nation what Wisconsin could really do. Not Iowa, not another state, what Wisconsin could really do. I believe it's time to move away from maps as a way of allocating power and toward a system in which the will of the voters is respected above the will of either party. Thank you, and I'd gladly take any questions.
Questions from the committee? Thanks for your testimony. Next up.